Alright guys, I'm making a video, a vlog for you guys to explain a current bill, HB 170. Now this is my outlook on the bill, what I've read and what I've looked at in the current bill. It's going to come up in September 1st, October 1st. It's going to be seen at the Capitol here in Texas. I'm mainly making this video for Texas, but it does apply all over the U.S. We really do need to, it's kind of our responsibility as vapors to step up and start paying attention to what these current bills are, if we care about vaping. We all love paying $15 for a 30 mil or 12 or $9.95 for a 30 mil of juice, and buying mechanical mods for $30 and $40 and $50, and buying RDAs for $20 and $30, and buying all these really cool new products that come out all the time and having access to them locally, not buying them out of state or out of the U.S. From foreign places, wherever they're manufactured. We love being able to support our local vape shop, right? I mean, that's the whole purpose of having a local vape shop, is a place that you can go and sit down with your friends and build and bullshit and show off all your cool new mods you got. And that's what these Senate bills are going to attack, is your local vape shop. It's going to attack, you know, what you pay for juice, even, you know, sales and importing of things from out of the state. California's had a recent battle with some of this stuff, and North Dakota and a few, it's innumerous, the amount of states that have been dealing with new regulations and pending regulations. The FDA regulations are still up in the air. I know that there's going to be something enacted by 2017, but that's still really all up in the air. There's no 100% guarantee on where that's going to go or how it's going to be regulated, but they're still working on that. So we still have some time, hopefully, to put our beliefs in, send our personal statements to senators and congressmen and everybody that we can to tell them how vaping has changed our lives. Before I get into it too far, I'll tell you that I started vaping about 1.5 years ago. My kids were having issues with ear infections pretty frequently, and multiple doctors told me and my wife that it was because I smoked, and I didn't believe it at all whatsoever. I thought it was another one of those cop-outs, blame everything on cigarettes, because I was a smoker and I stood for smokers' rights at that time. And my kids were getting pretty frequent ear infections, a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old, and we were having to go to the hospital pretty frequently. After I started vaping, my kids stopped getting ear infections. My 4-year-old son, now he's 4, was going to have to get tubes put in his ears. It's not cool, and I was doing that to him, and I didn't realize it. I didn't know. I thought that it, you know, cigarettes. I didn't smoke in the car with him. I didn't smoke in the house with him. I smoked outside, away from my kid. But every time I came to hug him or hold him or anything, it would affect him, and it was very bad for him. And now my son comes to my vape shop all the time. My family comes and sees me and is here all the time, and my son doesn't get ear infections anymore. And you're talking about him being around me in the car vaping and everywhere I go vaping all the time, and it's probably one of the greatest freedoms I've ever experienced. And now our freedoms are under attack, for sure. All the new litigation that's going to go through is just them taking the word electronic cigarette or vapor product and putting that into a cigarette bill. That's exactly what's happening. There are no new proposed bills that are specifically for vapor yet. I know that there's some in the works, and I know that there's congressmen and senators that are working with us right now, but there's a lot that aren't. American Heart Association just recently released a ton of information on them fully endorsing vapor products, that they do need to be regulated, but they're saying that it's a way healthier alternative to smoking cigarettes. Vaping is not a cessation device. It's not a medication. It is an alternative. That is all it is. You choose what nicotine level you want. You choose whether you want to go down or up. I have yet to see a customer in here that wants to go up in nicotine. I actually have to force people to go slowly down so that they don't want to go back to cigarettes again. But I've never seen anyone coming in here and telling me that their electronic cigarette doesn't work for them. They're always happy and they feel great, and I hear stories about bronchitis going away and all these amazing things. It's phenomenal. It's probably the best thing that I've best business I've ever been involved in my entire life. It's gratifying and amazing, and it's like a family, and all other vapors will tell you that. We all come together, and it's not about money. It's about helping everyone, making new friends. like the TV show Cheers at my shop all the time. We've got groups of people that come in, and we have people that we have nicknames for and friends, and it's a community. It's a strong community, and we all love what we do, and we stand behind it strongly. And so I hope that you guys all feel the same way I do. And we can all start taking a look at all these new Senate bills and House bills and stuff that are coming up, and standing up for our rights and not letting them tax these local vape shops that you have next to you. And I know you have a local vape shop. Everybody does. Support your local vape shop. Don't let these bills go through and shut them down. It could be the worst decision you ever make. The shops are what really help you to understand the products. You can't spend forever online trying to understand them. You need someone to talk to and someone to have it's like a support group, and it really is an amazing thing. And if you've been vaping for a while, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But I don't want to go. I'm going crazy and talking about all this other stuff. But I'm going to get into talking about a breakdown on the bill. This is HB 170 I'm discussing right now. SB 97 is coming up currently. It's going to be before HB 170 here in Texas, but SB 97 has been talked about a ton on CASAA. I'll show you the name of the website. This is CASAA.org. You really need to check this site out if you haven't. If you haven't become a member, please become a member. Go look at the site. Donate, help out. It is the best thing ever if you want to protect your rights. If you're a vape shop owner, SFATA here in Texas, I'll hold it up and let you see it. Go to this website. This is a great resource to help you and to get in the know about what's happening locally here in Texas. And they are doing their best to try to protect us so that we don't lose our rights as shop owners. I've spoke with a couple of shops now that honestly don't think that HB 170 is going to affect them. They don't think that SB 97 is going to affect them. They think that they can just stay in their shop and keep selling what they're selling and not do anything about it, and that someone else is just going to stand up for them and make these bills go away and these laws go. Yeah, I know it's a bill, right? It's a bill. Oh my God, it's a bill. But guess what? Bills become laws. That's exactly what happens. So you really do need to stand up yourself. Don't let someone else prop you up. Go and get on SAFTA, get on CASAA, start read about what's happening. Look at it and really read. I've emailed HB 170 to tons of people now. My buddy Mike at Valkyrie Vapor here in San Antonio. I'm Viking Vapor. Multiple shops. We had a massive SFATA meeting recently where all the shops got together and we discussed what was happening. The ones that showed up, awesome. It's awesome that they came. Some didn't because they felt like it didn't apply to them. They read the bill and there was nothing on it that would affect them. So I want to go through the bill real quick. I'm going to stop rambling and we're going to go through the bill, and I will just hit a few fine points that I saw in the bill that were pretty big deals and I thought really affected us. So currently they're going to do the taxing on vapor in Texas, right? So this is one point that I will make here about taxing electronic cigarettes, as they're calling them currently, on taxing them the same way as regular cigarettes. So what is the point of cigarette tax in the first place? It's to mitigate government health costs associated with smoking, to deter smokers with high tax costs and encourage smokers to quit. So you pay a lot for cigarettes, they're too expensive, you can't afford to smoke, right? It's called mitigating it and deterring. So electronic cigarettes do not have the links to cancer-causing carcinogens and are proving to reduce smoking to new smokers. So why punish e-cigs and e-cig smokers with the burden of health care costs caused by tobacco products when they're not one? Electronic cigarettes are just definitely not tobacco products. We don't sell tobacco products. Our stores don't carry tobacco products. We carry e-juice that contains specific amounts of nicotine. A lot of my customers don't even use nicotine. A lot of the people that come in here do zero nicotine. It's an oral asphyxiation. It's a hobby. It's a social thing. They don't all use nicotine. Some do, and some use it to help them quit, which will help mitigate health costs by people not smoking anymore. Vapor has been proven in countless studies. Even when those studies say vapor is 5% bad, blah, 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 they're still saying that a great majority of the people that do vape quit smoking and start vaping. It's proven over and over and over again. This isn't HB 170 in its entirety. It's just the things that could be detrimental to vapors, shop owners, manufacturers, and all the electronic cigarette accessory companies in Texas. So this is section 161.082. Sale of cigarettes, vapor products, or tobacco products to persons younger than the age of 18 are prohibited. Proof of age required. Rock and roll, we're all for that. That's great, right? So you guys saw that on HB 170 and you're like, this is to save the children. This is to keep 18-year-olds and 17 and under from getting electronic cigarettes. That's great. We all stand for that. We all really, really don't want minors to get electronic cigarettes. We don't believe that it's their right to. We treat it just like buying cigarettes. But it's not a cigarette. It's nowhere near that. We don't want it to be regulated like a cigarette. It needs its own section, its own regulation. So let's see, this is one thing that's going to have to be done. This is ID verification. Section 161.82. A transaction scan device a transaction scan device to identify a license as a certificate of valid, and the defendant accessed the information and relied on the results in good faith. Or if the defendant is the owner of a store in which cigarettes, vapor products, or tobacco products are sold at retail, the offense under section 161.82 occurs in the connection with the sale of an employee to an owner, and an owner had provided the employee with a transaction scan device in working condition and adequate training and use of the transaction scan device. So in other words, they're saying that we have to have a scan device in the store, and we have to make sure that our employees know how to use a scan device. We have to know that they can use a scan device to verify an age when anyone comes in and buys an electronic cigarette. That's really not that big of a deal, but it is something that's going to be affecting you, right? You do have to get a scan device. It does have to be in your store, and your employees do have to know how to use it, okay? So many people said HB 170 doesn't affect them at all. Okay, well, it does. There's one thing right there, right? Nothing big, right? It's no big deal. Outdoor advertising. So tons of electronic cigarette stores in Texas have signs near the road. Tons of stores do. They have signs near the road. They have signs at the Forum here in San Antonio. Monster Vape has a sign out there. Everybody has signs to help promote customers coming in to quit smoking. That's why we have the signs, okay? This is section 161.123. Part A, Health and Safety Code is amended to read as follows. A purchaser of advertising is liable and shall remit to the comptroller a fee that is 10% of gross sales price of any outdoor advertising of cigarettes, vapor products, or tobacco products in the state. How does that not apply to other shop owners? 10% of gross. So yeah, if you're cool with taking down any of your signs that are not specifically on your store, just like a tobacco house would, then that's great. If you want to keep the signs out, pay 10% of your gross earnings. It says it right in the bill. Please go read the bill. So let's say annual sales report. So all your sales report. This is section 161.352. Yeah, we have sales reports. We file taxes, right? You file taxes on the amount of money you make every year to Texas. That's how it works, right? So let's see. We'll break this down. Health and Safety Code are amended to read as follows. They're amending a Health and Safety Code. Each manufacturer shall file with the department an annual report for each cigarette, vapor product. Literally, it is literally copied and pasted into the bill. Literally. Or tobacco product distributed in the state, stating the identity of each ingredient in the cigarette, vapor product, or tobacco product, listed in descending order, accordance to weight, measure, or numerical count, other than a nicotine yield rating for the cigarette, vapor product, or tobacco product established under section 161.353. This section does not require a manufacturer to disclose the specific amount of ingredients in the cigarette or vapor product or tobacco product if that ingredient has been approved as safe when burned and inhaled by the United States Food and Drug Administration or successory entity. So that right there says that you do have to report everything that you have in your juices, anything that's associated with the e-liquids. That's basically a regulation on what you have in your products. If I go any further into that, I really don't think I need to. If you listen to what I say and you go and look at the bill and you read that section, you'll get exactly what I'm talking about. It says that for you to do it, you have to meet the requirements of the FDA if they say that your ingredients are safe to be burned and inhaled. The FDA does not say that anything in these products, flavorings, excess, blah, 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 are safe to be inhaled or burned, okay? So all this stuff needs to be specifically written for vapor, not for cigarettes, okay? Definition of delivery. So now everybody says, well, you know, it's not going to affect my store also because I do online or I do this, and we've got lawyers, and I've heard multiple things from talking to other stores. So let's see what it takes to deliver. So to deliver would mean anything you do in your store, sales. Okay, so you have a wholesale store. You sell a product at your counter. You go out to the parking lot and you don't have an electronic cigarette store. You sell them out of your house. And you go meet a guy in a parking lot from Craigslist and you sell him something. That is distributing. That is distributing. If you have intent to distribute, meaning you have more than a few items that you buy online and ship into your home, your house, those items have to be tracked by the state of Texas. It says it directly in the delivery, regulation of delivery and definition of delivery. It says it right in the bill. So I'll go first and read you the definition of delivery. So section 161.451, Health and Safety Code is amended by amending subdivisions 1 and 3 and adding subdivision 5 to read as follows. Delivery sale means a sale of a cigarette or vapor products to a consumer in the state in which the purchaser submits the order for sale by means of telephone or other method, voice transmission by using the mails or other delivery service, or through the internet or another online service, or the cigarettes or vapor products are delivered by the sorry, that was a misprint on there. Delivered by the sales, regardless of whether the seller is located within the state. A person who is a wholesale dealer or retailer dealer is not a delivery sale. I think I have a little misprint on here, but still. The summary of that is in section 161.451, and you can go and read the very bottom of it. I think I have this double printed on here. Well, on my summary, I did this really quick and short and fast so that I could get something out here to show you guys what the summary is. But the regulation of delivery, so that was just basically delivery. Anything that requires a phone call or delivery in your vehicle or mail or any of those are delivery. That's how Texas sees delivery. So this is the regulation of delivery. Section 161.453. If you look in the bill, you can go into section 40 and find this. Health and Safety Code is amended to read as follows. A person may not mail or ship cigarettes or vapor products in connection with a delivery sale order unless before mailing or shipping the cigarettes or vapor products, the person accepted the delivery sale order first, obtains from the prospective consumer a certification that includes reliable confirmation that the purchaser is at least 18 years of age, and a statement signed and prospective purchaser in writing under the penalty of law, certifying the prospective purchaser's address and date of birth, confirming that the prospective purchaser understands that signing another person's name to the certificate is illegal and states the cigarettes or vapor products to an individual under the age prescribed in section 161.82 are illegal under state law, and that the purchaser of cigarettes or vapor products by an individual under that age is illegal under the state law, and confirming that the vapor product or tobacco company makes good faith effort to verify the information contained in the certification provided by prospective purchaser under subdivision 1 against commercially available database, or obtains a photocopy or image of a government issued identification bearing photograph of the prospective purchaser and stating the date of birth or age of the prospective purchaser, sends the prospective purchaser by email or other means a notice that complies with section 161.454 and an order made over the internet as a result of an advertisement receives payment for delivery or sale from the prospective purchaser, or credit or debit card that has been in the purchaser's name or by check. So everything that you do, if they buy it on your website, if they make an order over the phone and they give you their ID or their credit card, it has to be reported. Every transaction that you ship or sell, because it is illegal to ship cigarettes. So the way for them to get around it for vapor products is to make sure that you are documenting every movement of the sales in the state. How much more paperwork, how much more time is that going to take every time you do an online sale? I shipped something to California the other day. A guy bought an atomizer from my shop, and I shipped it. And I charged him a credit card over the phone and did it through my system here at the store and reported taxes on it. He paid for it with his credit card, and that goes into his yearly earnings, and he had to pay taxes in California on the fact that he spent that money. So they need tracking on his side and tracking on my side. Regulation of delivery, that is section 40, okay? That was a huge thing I had to read you. It's very complex and very complicated, but the summary of that is that is what you will have to do. Everything will have to be reported when you ship or sell outside of your store at all. So tax 151 15021 will be seen by the comptroller and applied to vapor products. So Section 151.21 is an imposition and rate of tax for electronic cigarettes. A tax is imposed on a person who uses or disposes of electronic cigarettes in the state. The taxes are 70.50 cents per thousand on cigarettes weighing 3 pounds or less per thousand, and the rate provided by subdivisions 1 of the division is subdivision 1 plus $2.10 per thousand on cigarettes weighing more than 3 per thousand. So that's saying that this literally is Section 151 of 21 from the stated section above. That's where they say refer to Section 151.21. That's 151.21. It's saying that they're taxing it $70 per thousand on cigarette weighing 3 pounds. So it's not even regulated to vapor products where they say, well, amount of juice you ship, or none of that is applying. So this is a big one here. Subchapter C is tax stamps. Section 151.41. So you can go down to Section 40, a little bit below that. It's going to be Section 151.41. Stamp required. A person who pays a tax imposed by this chapter shall securely affix a stamp to each individual package of cigarettes to show payment of tax. You see, it says right on this section, cigarettes. So the tax on the bottom, the little stamp on the bottom of your pack of cigarettes that you buy from the store. If you have a pack of cigarettes next to you right now, you can look at the bottom. There's a Texas. It's a little stamp, a picture of Texas, right? So those stamps cost money. Every one of those has to have, every product in your store has to have a tax stamp. That's telling the state of Texas that you pay taxes on the things that you're selling in your store. You are paying a dirty tax because cigarettes are dirty and bad for you. So everything in your store has to have a stamp on it to verify to the comptroller's office in Texas, who is reviewing cigarette taxes, that you pay taxes on it. It's illegal if you don't. They can impose fines up to $75,000. There's tons and tons of stuff in here. I can go through and read. There's such a long sections that I had to copy and paste to this document that I made. I might post some sort of link to this document that I made, or just a link to the bill if you guys really want to read it and go through. I would recommend that you do, because this is really my outlook on the bill. You do need to look at it yourself and see how they group electronic cigarettes. So let's see. Possession of unstamped package of cigarettes, permission. We'll skip through that. Absence of a stamp on an individual package of cigarettes is a notice that the tax has not been paid. So if you don't have anything on your products in the store, it means that you haven't paid taxes on it. That's all there is to it. And they're saying that this is going to be regulated the same way. So we will have to start having identification stamps on all the products we sell in our store. Let's see. Subsection D is permits. A person, this is 151.101, sorry. Permits. A person may not engage in business as a distributor, wholesaler, bonded agent, manufacturer, importer, or retailer. You heard that right. A person may not engage in business as a distributor, wholesaler, bonded agent, manufacturer, importer, or retailer unless the person has applied and received the applicable permit from the comptroller. So you do have to get a permit to have a vapor shop in Texas. That's something that they're trying to pass on this House Bill 170, okay? Each distributor, wholesaler, bonded agent, manufacturer, importer, and retailer shall obtain a permit for each place of business owned or operated by the distributor, wholesaler, bonded agent, manufacturer, importer, or retailer. The comptroller shall prescribe the form and content of its application for a permit and shall furnish the form on request of the applicant. It says all in here about everything that you have to fill out and everything that needs to be, all the paperwork that has to be active for you to comply to this so that you can get a permit to sell electronic cigarettes in Texas. It says it right in Section 154.101. Okay, I'll move down to reporting. Registration reporting requirements. This is Section 161.456. A person may not take a delivery, sale, or ship cigarettes or vapor products in connection with the delivery or sale unless the person first files with the comptroller a statement that includes the person's name, trade name, the address of the person's principal place of business and other places of business, the person's telephone number, email address, no later than the 10th day of each month. No later than the 10th day of each month. Every month, you have to send in the information of everyone. Their personal information, the driver's license, all the information on their business. You have to send that in to the comptroller's office. You have to report who you're selling to. How could you say let's say I'm an idiot and I didn't read this bill at all, and I'm making up all this crap. How could you say that that's not going to affect your business? Not going to affect your business at all. Seriously. Okay, so person telephone number, no later than the 10th day. Each person has made, delivery, or shipped or delivered cigarettes or vapor products in connection with the delivery sale during the provisions of the month shall file with the comptroller a memorandum or a copy of the invoice that provides for each delivery sale. Every freaking sale. Every sale you have to provide the proper documents for what you sold. If somebody buys a drip tip, you're going to have to go through tons and tons and tons of paperwork. That makes it extremely hard for a lot of businesses that can't do that stuff. They can't track all that. It's hard with the amount of revenue that we generate in these shops to report taxes. So we have to have all these extra documents that we need to keep track of. It's just piling paperwork on. It's stacking and stacking on top of you to make it harder and harder and harder to have an electronic cigarette store in Texas, right? That's what they're calling this regulation of us. So we'll jump down to product testing. This is awesome. So remember, all your products have to be tested and approved through the comptroller's office. I said this earlier in the part of the bill, only a little bit. I only talked about it a small amount. This is section 796.0035, vapor product testing. The state fire marshal by rule shall adopt a test method for testing the fire safety of a vapor product in accordance with the applicable state and federal standards, except as provided in section 796.004. A manufacturer of vapor products shall ensure that tests on vapor products are conducted in accordance with the test method adopted by the state fire marshal under this section. So they're going to come up with an appropriate test for these products, and they're going to put those through rigorous testing, whatever they feel is appropriate for our products in Texas. I don't know about all the other states. I'm just talking about Texas only with this House bill. And everything is going to have to be tested before sold. It has to be approved. That takes time. It takes a lot of time. And you have to send it in with a $250 fee. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be on here that's really wrong. A lot of stuff. But it doesn't apply. So just keep going, right? Manufacturer of a cigarette or a vapor product in the state fire marshal determines cannot be tested in accordance with section 796.003 or 796.0035 as applicable, shall propose a test method and performance standard for the cigarette or vapor product to the state fire marshal. If the state fire marshal determines that the performance standard proposed by the manufacturer is equivalent to the performance standard under section 796.003 or 796.0035 as applicable, the manufacturer may use the proposed test method. So if they feel like your testing method that you're doing on site at your manufacturing business where you're manufacturing these, which most of us are importing, but we do have manufacturers in Texas that do make mechanical mods and all different kinds of atomizers and tops and all kinds of stuff. They're going to be directly affected by this. They will have to submit how they're testing and work with the fire marshal and the comptroller's office to make sure that this stuff is getting tested properly for fire safety. Okay, so let's keep moving and rolling down. There's a lot to that. You really do need to go and read this. Section 51, Health and Safety Fire Code, to amend, read as follows. Before a cigarette or vapor product may be sold or offered for sale in the state, the cigarette's vapor product manufacturer must certify in writing to the state fire marshal that the cigarette or vapor product has been tested in accordance and meets the performance standard of 796.003, 796.0035, 796.004 as applicable. The cigarette or vapor product certified under this section shall be recertified every 3 years. For each cigarette or vapor product included in the certification, a manufacturer shall pay the state fire marshal a fee in the amount of $250. Each item that you certify in the state of Texas, you will have to pay $250 to have that item certified. That is insane. Maybe there's some stores that only sell like 5 things. We have a pretty good deal of inventory in our store, and that would be probably around, I would say, $10,000 to $20,000 for us to do that. Some shops don't have that on hand. That's a great deal of money. It literally says it right here in the bill. You really do need to read the bill. Keep moving. Let's see. Texas Department of Insurance operating account with general revenue fund. That talks about where the fees are going to go and when they fine you. The marketing consists of modifying the products. you're going to be under extreme scrutiny is what this says, Section 55. If you violate the rule, the penalties could be $100 for each vapor product or pack of cigarettes sold and offered in the state, but not more than $100,000. So, I mean, you're looking at them fining you greatly for the things that you don't register. If you sell without properly registered things in your store, you sell those things that have not been registered and they don't comply with the state's rules, you're going to be fined if the marshal catches you. It's a pretty big deal. So, it's insane for me to think that people don't read these. I'm not going to keep going any further into that one. So, but we're gonna finish it off here. There's tons of stuff that you really need to look at. I hope that the things that I told you right now are enough to raise awareness. Yes, I was all over the place. Yes, the video's not perfect. I'm trying to make this really, really quick and put this in quick so you guys can step up and defend vaping. So I apologize for my messing up while reading or whatever. I didn't have a long time to get this structured perfectly, just being real. Right, so Section 65 at the end of the bill says, except otherwise provided by this act, the act will take effect October 1st, 2015. So if the bill makes it through the Senate and through the House and it's approved and we do nothing about it, this is exactly what's going to happen. And mind you, I took just a few things out of this bill that really pissed me off. Just a few things. And I'm not saying that our stores should not be regulated. Any vapor shop you talk to will say, I agree with regulation. I agree with us being under control and having a standard. I believe that we should all have a standard. Yes, we do have a code of conduct between other shops, and yes, we do follow the rules on 18 and up only. But I do understand that there needs to be regulation. It's a business, just like any other business. But it needs to be regulated properly. We need to be looked at the proper way. We are not a cigarette store. We do not sell tobacco. And I hope that we can convey this to senators, to congressmen, to people in the House that will understand why we're affected by this so much, and what they're going to do to us if they do shut us down or impose massive, massive taxes on us or cover us up in paperwork. It should be something that's taken and handled with kid gloves. And it doesn't seem like it is. It has been a battle tooth and nail in all the other states. Texas is unique. We're an amazing state. We're the best state in the United States. And I think that we can really overcome this and work together. And we have some of the best senators and some of the best congressmen and some of the most amazing people in office in Texas. And I think they'll want to work with us on it. And I think that if we write amazing things to them in letters and emails, and I hope that what I'm saying is inspiring some people to want to do that. So anything that I messed up on, anything that I didn't get 100%, remember guys, this was the summary. This is just the way I feel about the bill. This is not verbatim. I am not quoting the bill fact for fact. I tried to reference the sections in the bills. I tried to make sure you guys knew kind of where to find this in the bill if you don't want to read the whole bill, but I really do stress just taking an hour and sitting down and reading the bill. Even if you don't own a store, you just want to see how this is going to affect you as a vapor. It's really important that you do this. So thank you guys. I'm sorry for making this go so long. If I would have read the whole bill, we would have been here for a few hours. So I will do my best to try to reply to any questions or comments on the bottom of the video down there. Please go to SFATA. Please go to CASAA. If you didn't get those at the beginning of the video, I'll post them again real quick. SFATA is for the store owners. You guys can donate. Public can donate there. Owners can donate to help. That's what it's all about. Get on both sites. Go on CASAA. Go on SFATA. Do it. Go see both. This is all about helping protect us, because I don't want to stop vaping. I love vaping, and I love having a vapor store, and I love helping people quit a dirty habit and use something else that's a cleaner alternative to smoking nasty, gross cigarettes. We all hate cigarettes. This is not a pathway. This is not something that leads younger people into smoking cigarettes. Everyone who vapes is disgusted by cigarettes. It's the worst smell you can imagine. We all hate the smell of cigarettes. So that's my piece. Thank you guys. Much love to the vape community. Thank you guys for watching.